Hey guys, so I have some fun, easy to make, and very affordable DIYs for Halloween and fall that I want to share with everyone. So my first ones I have are these really cute tea light candles. You can use real tea lights or fake ones like I have shown here. And you can put them in the coffee table, the guest bathroom, whatever you think is really cute, on your desk. So what I did is I found just about everything at Dollar Tree. I had to go to multiple Dollar Trees, but I got these really cute little glass little bowls, and I found these table scatters that look like pumpkins. I added 2 packages of those. I shook them up, tried to make a little space in the middle to find where the tea light can go, and then I just turned it on, and it's a little flickering one, and I put it in the middle, and there you go. That's how it looks like off camera, and I show here that if you want you can use a real one. It looks just as pretty. For the other bulb, I wanted to do something different. I added candy corns on the bottom and these fun pumpkin marshmallow candies on the top, and just made it much more Halloweeny, I guess you'd say. This was a little harder to get the candle in straight, but that's okay. You just move the pumpkins around, maybe take some out. So once you stick the candles in, then voila, you're done, and you place them wherever your heart desires. For this next project I have is these cute little ghosts in a jar, and everything can be found at Dollar Tree. The jar I have is a no logo on it, which is at Dollar Tree, so I thought that was pretty cool. Better than mason jars. You're going to need 2 round foam things and some Spanish moss. So let's get rolling with the project. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your mason jar or whatever jar you have. You're going to take the ring off, and you're just going to set the ring off for a side for a little while. You're going to need that suction piece. You're going to use that as a type of measurement about where you can cut out to kind of like a platform for the ghost. And what you're going to have is I'm using a box cutter. You can use an X-Acto knife, but once you cut that out, it's just a rough estimate. Just go ahead and cut it a little bit smaller so that it fits in the jar. I would use hot glue here. I used tacky glue. It did not work that well, but it did its job. Then stick that on, and then go on to your softer foam that's round, and you're going to cut out a piece as big as the ghost head as you'd like, and then you're just going to roll that into some type of ball. I would have wet it before, but that's okay. I just made it work. You can also use a lollipop, which I show here, but I chose not to do the lollipop just because I already did the round ghost ball things. So take apart some Spanish moss and put that aside for as much as you probably want. I did forget to mention this, but these were already on a fake tree, or a fake tree that was painted white. You're just going to need some type of twigs that can fit inside your jar, and I'm just measuring here which ones look cool. I didn't want to repaint them brown because I just felt it was just going to be too much work, and plus I didn't have brown paint. So as you can see, I kind of want it really low to the ground, so I'm going to chop them off, and voila, now you have 2 cute little trees. And the tops of it is where your balls for the ghost are going to go. So make sure that everything will still fit in your jar. If it's a little wide, don't worry, I'll show you how to do that at the end. So here I'm showing the lollipops that I was talking about. You can use that instead of a tree. You can paint the lollipop stick brown, and then you can stick that in and then cover the lollipop top, which the way we're going to cover the round foam balls. So there's many ways you can go ahead with this, but I'm just gonna do the tree ones. And so now get some gauze, just fold it in half or cut it into little square pieces, and make sure that there is a opening at the bottom. So I squeeze mine tight to let it form its shape, and as you can tell it does stay, but if you feel safer about gluing it, just whatever you do, make sure that the bottom is still available for you to stick that into the tree. So now I have these cute little Google eyes that I found again at Dollar Tree, and I just used my little tacky glue, which worked perfect, put the smallest amount of glue on it, and stuck them on the flattest surface I can find on the ghost, I guess, to make him come more to life and make him not look so scary. He actually looks pretty cute. So I did that for both of them. So once you do that, you find a stick that you want him to be on. This part was a little tricky because I should have used hot glue for the bottom, but I didn't, so it was kind of still not dry. And so I just open up the gauze, stick the foam ball in, not all the way, but in to the middle until it sticks, and then just get the excess moss off. And I just formed the gauze around the branches, however it made it look exactly like a ghost floating along the trees. So as you can see, there's your cute little ghost. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of how I did it just one more time with the other ghost. That's my gauze. This one I just folded in half, found the center of it. I put the ball in the middle. I squeezed over to let it form its shape. Stick some more googly eyes on it and stick him on the tree as well, and there you go. Now you just have to add your moss. If you want, you can put some glue on the bottom to let it stick, but I found that was unnecessary for mine. I just kind of got some strands of the moss and stick it in between the trees and a little bit underneath the ghost and around. So now here comes the very tricky part, is getting all of this inside the jar. So what I did is I laid it on its side. I gently squeeze these together and slowly push them in one at a time. And when you squeeze it together, it will open up inside the jar since the jar's mouth is pretty small and tight. And don't worry about the excess moss that's hanging over. That's perfectly fine. Just squeeze it on, put the cap on, flip it up, right side up, and tie it together, and then you will be done. I wanted to add a little bit more Halloween festive to it. I thought it looked a little plain, so I found this Halloween garland, and it was a wire one, so it's easy to tie and mess with. So I just cut off a nice piece that went around the jar, and I just twisted it together. I didn't have to worry about gluing it or anything, and I just twisted as tight as I can, made sure the pumpkins are facing the right way, and then voila, fold the extras in, and you are done. These ones are the cutest fall decorations I could ever make, and they're just beautiful jars, and they may look complex, but I'll show you how easy they actually are. Go ahead and start by typing fall on the word or whatever type of software writing you have, and the font I used was the Harrington, and 270 was the size of the font. Once I printed these out, I went and got I don't have an X-Acto knife, but I got my box cutter, and I just gently went over the paper to stencil, because the black piece of the stencil is what you're going to be using to cover on the jar, not the white part, so don't worry about that. So I just got the tiniest little tape, found out where I wanted to place it, taped on every single one of the jars, and I didn't want the tape to cover too much, so I just went in, gently used my box cutter, and it came off very easily. All the excess tape, you don't need any of that. Plus, when you go to paint it, it will make your letters look a little funky. But anyway, so now go outside where it's very ventilated, because I'm using spray paint. I'm using a white flat paint. I don't like shiny because I think it looks more rustic flat. So go ahead on your flat surface, lean it upright. If you do it upside down, the paint will start to drip in the way you don't want it to. Just go little spurts all the way over, and nope, that paper did not ruin my jar. And just do that for every single one of them until everything's covered. A little quick tip, you can actually stick fingers inside the jar, spread your fingers apart, and lift up the jar from the inside. You'll get a little paint on you, but it won't ruin the outside of the jar because the inside doesn't need to be painted. Find a little spot that's lifted, gently use your nail or tweezers, if anything, and lift it off. The tape and everything should come right off, and just be careful. While it's still wet, check to see if you need to do any touch-ups. If not, go ahead and set it aside and continue on with the rest of your jars. I let mine set out for about all day, for all the daylight hours. I just wanted to make sure since I didn't want them to be scratched. So here they are after I'm done, and they're just beautiful. And they actually look already flat white now that they're not even dry yet. So here I have some fake flowers, and right now Dollar Tree has fake fall flowers, so go ahead and pick some up. A bunch of bouquets. I bought a couple of the same ones, some leaves. Here I'm just cutting them, the wire was a little too hard to cut, so I found just kind of ripping them apart. So put them in a bunch of different bouquets, and make sure you want to have leaves and flowers and a mixture of everything together, not just big pile of leaves in one bouquet versus a bunch of flowers in the other. Try to make it very even. I actually decided to put big flowers in the middle, little flowers up front, and then the leaves in the back. It just kind of made it more balanced. And here I have a really tiny little stem that I cut too short, so I just went in, grabbed one that I would put next to it, and twisted it around it so it didn't fall all the way to the bottom. So here I'm just kind of organizing, like I said, the little flowers up top, little flowers in the beginning, sorry, and then the leaves in the back, and it just makes it just come together and so beautiful and full. I did have some left over that I didn't know what to do with, so I'm just peeling them apart, sticking them in wherever I feel looks really, really pretty. So there you have it. They're beautiful fall decorations. If you put all these together, you'll just have a wonderful, warm feeling home. And that's all I have for you guys today. So I hope you really enjoyed it. They were very easy and fun to make, and most definitely very affordable. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!